Times Square, once a beacon of humanity, now lies overgrown, nature's tendrils reclaiming the concrete jungle. Amidst the verdant chaos, an armored SUV cuts a stark figure, a relic of a world long past. Robert Neville, a solitary hunter, scans the surroundings from within his fortified vehicle, his eyes sharp and vigilant. A lone deer cautiously emerges from the foliage, unaware of the hunter's presence. The SUV accelerates, a mechanical predator stalking its prey through the deserted streets. This hunt is a testament to Neville's resourcefulness, a desperate struggle for survival in a world consumed by desolation. Neville steps into his fortified home, where shadows dance across metal shutters and barricaded windows. With a grim, practiced focus, Neville meticulously examines each trap, his face a mask of weary determination. He carefully rations his dwindling supplies, each movement measured and deliberate against the backdrop of dim light. Sam, his German shepherd, remains a steadfast shadow as Neville begins his daily exercise, a battle against the encroaching darkness. Amidst the controlled chaos of his laboratory, Neville stands, his brow furrowed in intense concentration. Infected blood samples undergo rigorous testing, the fate of a cure hanging in the balance. Beakers bubble ominously, their contents mirroring the relentless progression of a deadly virus. Frustration clouds Neville's face as he murmurs, "Another failed attempt." The virus continues to mutate, defying every treatment I've devised. Surrounded by scattered research notes and the hum of scientific equipment, Neville's determination hardens. Driven by unwavering resolve, he declares, "There has to be a way, I have to find it." His words echoing through the tense laboratory. Neville drives alone through the eerily empty streets of New York, a ghost in a deserted metropolis. His voice echoes through the empty airwaves, a desperate plea broadcast across all frequencies. "This is Robert Neville," he announces, his voice tinged with a hope that barely flickers. "I will be at the South Street Seaport every day at midday," Neville promises, his words resonating with a longing for connection. He offers safety and sustenance, his voice cracking with emotion. "If there is anybody out there, please, you are not alone." The stark reality crashes in as the narration confirms the crushing silence. There is never a response. Sunlight floods the hospital room, illuminating dust motes in a dance of life and hope. Neville, younger and full of life, gazes adoringly at his wife. His wife cradles their newborn daughter, a symbol of their complete happiness. He gently strokes the baby's head, his eyes reflecting pure, unconditional love. This idyllic scene is a poignant reminder of the family Neville has lost and is fighting to reclaim. At the South Street Seaport, Neville arrives, hope flickering in his eyes as he scans the bustling surroundings. Minutes bleed into an hour, the vibrant energy of the seaport slowly mocking Neville's dwindling hope. The initial anticipation hardens into a familiar ache of disappointment as the designated meeting time passes without anyone appearing. Sam approaches cautiously, extending a hand to Neville's shoulder, offering a silent, empathetic presence. The vast, echoing emptiness of the seaport amplifies Neville's solitude, the lively backdrop now a stark reminder of his isolation. As the last light fades, the sky bleeds into shades of orange and purple over the deserted streets of New York. Neville sprints through the desolate urban landscape, his breath misting in the chilling night air. From the shadows of dark alleyways and crumbling buildings, the Darkseekers emerge, their eyes burning with predatory hunger. A desperate chase ignites as Neville weaves through a maze of abandoned cars and scattered debris. The Darkseekers, relentless and terrifying, close in, their feral snarls echoing through the deserted streets. Neville's skill and agility are tested to their limits as he fights to evade the relentless onslaught of his pursuers. Inside Neville's fortified home, the frantic energy of barricading doors and windows fills the air, a desperate race against the encroaching darkness. The growing chorus of howls and screeches heralds the arrival of the Darkseekers, their monstrous forms slamming against the barricades. Terror grips Neville and Sam as the first monstrous figures test their defenses, their shadows looming large in the dim light. The harsh, violet glow of UV lights floods the house, repelling the Darkseekers with hisses and claws, a temporary reprieve in the siege. Sunlight streams into Neville's cluttered laboratory, illuminating bubbling beakers and monitors flickering with arcane data. Neville holds a syringe filled with glowing liquid, his face a mask of determination and hope. Across the room, a Darkseeker strains against metal restraints, its snarls echoing through the lab. With a steady hand, Neville injects the Darkseeker with the experimental serum, a silent promise hanging in the air. He steps back, his eyes locked on the creature, every muscle tense with anticipation. The fate of his work, and perhaps more, hangs in the balance as he awaits the Darkseekers' reaction. On deserted streets beneath looming skyscrapers, dust motes dance in the sunlight as Neville walks, his shadow stretching long before him. He pauses before Fred, a mannequin propped against a boarded-up storefront, the only companion in his desolate world. Neville gestures wildly, his voice echoing off the empty buildings as he recounts his trials to the silent Fred. "I told you, Fred, they're getting smarter," he says, his bloodshot eyes reflecting a desperate vigilance. "They almost had me last night. Almost." He stares intently at the mannequin. "Don't give me that look. You weren't there. It's easy for you to judge, standing there all stiff." His tone softens, a plea for understanding in the emptiness. "Just trying to keep my spirits up, Fred. Is that a crime?" On the desolate streets of New York, Sam races against the biting cold, his breath a fleeting cloud. A deer appears, a fleeting illusion amidst the decaying vehicles, luring Sam into a deadly snare. From the shadows, an infected dog strikes with brutal force, its fangs finding purchase in Sam's flesh. Neville watches, paralyzed by dread, as Sam's whimpers echo the horrifying truth. Infection takes hold. Sunlight pierces through the windows of Neville's fortified home, illuminating the dust-filled air of his makeshift lab. Gaunt and weary, Neville stares intensely at a worn photograph, his gaze fixed on the image of Sam, his loyal German shepherd. A wave of sorrow momentarily softens his hardened features, the pain of loss etched deep within his eyes. Yet beneath the grief, a steely resolve hardens his gaze, a promise forming in the depths of his soul. Neville's voice, raspy with determination, echoes through the lab. "I will find a cure." His vow intensifies, a solemn pledge to his fallen companion and the world. "I promise you, Sam, I will avenge you, and I will save them all." Under the cloak of night, Neville, fueled by rage, recklessly throws himself at the Darkseekers in the heart of New York. He is quickly swarmed, his desperate struggle overshadowed by the sheer number of his adversaries. Captured and helpless, Neville is brought before the alpha male, his eyes reflecting a mix of defiance and despair. In a chilling moment, the alpha male's gaze pierces through Neville, a flicker of recognition hinting at a terrifying intelligence. Flickering lamplight casts long, dancing shadows across the barricaded windows of Neville's fortified home. Weary and wounded, Neville slumps in a chair, his face etched with exhaustion and disbelief. Anna and Ethan stand before him, armed and cautious, their eyes reflecting the horrors they've witnessed. "We heard your broadcast, Neville." Ethan steps forward, offering a hand in solidarity. "We came to help." Anna speaks of sanctuary, a beacon of hope in the darkness. "There's a survivor colony in Vermont, a safe place." Neville looks up, a flicker of longing in his eyes. "Vermont? A colony? After all this time?" He pauses, his voice doubtful. "I appreciate it, but forgive my skepticism. Hope is a dangerous thing." Neville's laboratory is under siege as monstrous Darkseekers claw and pound against the reinforced steel, their feral rage shaking the very foundations. Leading the charge, the alpha male's eyes burn with savage intelligence, his presence radiating pure, unadulterated menace. Inside, Anna watches with bated breath as the captured Darkseeker, strapped to a table, shows faint signs of reverting to its original human form. The alpha male roars outside, a sound of primal fury and unwavering determination that chills the blood as narration echoes. The alpha male wants her back. Neville stares at the test results, a relieved smile slowly spreading across his face as he realizes the cure works. He hands Anna the vial of serum, his eyes filled with a mix of hope and resolute determination. Neville grabs a grenade, pulling the pin, a silent promise passing between him, Anna, and Ethan. A blinding flash engulfs the room as Neville detonates the grenade, sacrificing himself in a heroic act as the explosion rocks the fortified home.